DJ Dewey Rock on the track.
Welcome to Emerge Podcast 360. I'm your host, Maserati. We want to thank you for tuning in. No matter where you are in this metaverse world, we're going to continue to bring you the best quality content and formula that we know how. We want to thank you for all the likes, shares, and subscriptions on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. This is being brought to you by Involved Social and Civic Club, Burchell Family Insurance Agency, and Xavier Robinson, the X-Man. We want to once again thank you for tuning in for this lovely Sunday night of Beyond the Game. We're reaching back into our community and pulling out one of our finer student athletes. We are loving the athletes of the 2022 recipient of the Emerge 360 Freshman of the Year. He was born to the parents of Felicia and Joseph Mansfield, where he attended Morehouse Parish K through 11th. Born September 9, 2002. He discovered his talents at an early age of 8 while playing with a feeder program known as the Bastrop Baby Rams. Once he became a Bastrop High School Bastrop Ram, his talents was polished by that coach during the time of Coach Adrian Burnett, where he became a starting wide receiver. He completed his junior year, earning second team All-District at wide receiver in 2018. Due to family circumstances, he would take his talents to Neville High School, where he continued his football career under legendary coach Mickey McCarthy. Earning honorable mention All-District in 2019, he graduated with honors from Neville High School, earning a scholarship to the University of Arkansas Monticello, where he's currently pursuing his bachelor's degree in computer science information. He is now a junior in his studies in the classroom and a redshirt freshman on the field. Check it out, y'all. His first year on the field, 30 receptions, 409 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He's a proud member of Kappa Alpha Psi, where he pledged in the fall of 2021. I give you former basketball high basketball Ram and Neville former Tiger, Mr. Jordan Mansfield. How you doing today, Jordan?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Oh, we're so honored that we can have you on the show, bro. I've been following you, and you see you did your thing at University of Arkansas Monticello. Jordan, kind of tell us about how it was for you growing up in Strop City.
Growing up for me in Strop City, well, we used to play football for the city, and while we was playing football for the city, my class, everybody thought when we got to high school, that was going to be the class to bring another championship to Bastrop, and everybody was together around that time when I was growing up in Bastrop.
Right. You know, and Jordan, we want to get into that. I know your parents are proud of your accomplishments and the things that you overcome, speaking on what you're about to speak about. But Jordan, kind of tell us what motivated you at an early age to be so inspired with athletics?
What motivated me was it's just something I always loved. Football and sports. It's just something that's always been a part of me, and I just never gave up on it.
Right. And you know, Jordan, you were speaking earlier about you come from a class that had prominence that's supposed to have been the next big time, we'll say championship class of 2020. Kind of tell us about some of your teammates and the camaraderie you guys had at such a early age playing with the Bastrop Baby Rams. And yes, folks, I'm going to take a little bit of this. He played for his big cousin, but kind of tell him how the camaraderie you guys had playing with the Bastrop Baby Rams and the height was on you guys coming up.
The Bastrop Baby Rams gave us a chance to show how good we really was at a young age, because we wasn't playing against kids our age every time. When we was on Baby Rams, sometimes we played against older kids, and we were still dominating, and that brought us together as a class and as teammates. I feel like if we would have stuck together, it would have been something special.
Right. In Jordan, a lot of things transpired from you playing Pee Wee football. And a lot of people don't know you was a good baseball player. You're very good at basketball. You was an all-around athlete. But kind of share more intel about the transition of coming up with your classmates, knowing that you guys could possibly be those guys to win that championship and put Bastrop back at the prominence that we once were. Kind of tell us about some of those guys you played with and what happened as you went through high school at Bastrop High.
Some of the guys I played with, like AJ Finchroy, Robbie Young Williams, Carterius Hawkins, Serquan Hawkins. We played with a lot of guys when I was at Bastrop High, and coming up, I feel like everybody knew who was gonna be the class to help Bastrop High bring their name back. Because when we was in Pee Wee and playing with the baby rounds, the city games used to be packed. Like parents who had kids not even playing used to be coming out and watching us. So I feel like we just had everybody behind us at the time.
Right. And Jordan, you overcame and you end up getting that spotlight with the Rams. Coach Burnett, who we know was the coach during the time, you got your opportunity to really showcase your talents. How did that have effect on you personally and your class? How did that really affect the class of 2020?
I feel like it affected the class real well, because that was my first year playing when my junior year of high school in Bastrop High. So that was my first season playing for the high school. But some of my other classmates, they had been playing since like freshman. And for me to come out and get our district on my first year, I feel like it was big.
Right. And things always don't turn out the way that we would think. But you went on and you got a chance to showcase your talents with Bastrop. And we know sometimes choices are made that are out of our control, and you end up having to transfer to Neville. Having the recruitment that you were getting at Bastrop, do you think when you transferred to Neville, do you think that kind of shied away from your recruitment? Do you think it was going to be the same?
I think when I transferred to Neville, I actually think recruiting was better. Because when I was at Bastrop, I really didn't talk to a lot of schools. But when I transferred to Neville, I started talking to more schools. I started going on more visits and stuff like that.
Right. And Jordan, being that you are a well-rounded athlete, as I spoke earlier, you played everything, baseball, basketball. What are sort of some of the short-term goals now that you have probably one of the better opportunities than any college athlete right now out there in college sports? You're about to graduate with your degree, and you have 2 years of eligibility left to play. Kind of share with us, Jordan, about that aspect of the game.
With 2 years left and me graduating soon, my short-term goals will probably be to gain about 15 pounds and just start training for the next season. I want to get All-American in my conference with UAM.
Right, and you had a well-rounded freshman year, like 30 receptions, 400-some yards, and 5 touchdowns. That's pretty good for a red shirt freshman. But, you look at, you could have been other places and you had other schools on your mind, but what's inside of you kept you so humble to stick it out with UAM when there's a history and a culture of kids from Bastrop not really sticking it out? What is it about UAM that you said, hey, I'm going to give them a chance and I'm going to shine right here?
I feel like it's just about having an opportunity and making the best of it. UAM not the best school, and everybody don't play high school football and say, oh, I want to go to UAM, but that's the only place I had. So I was like, I'm just gonna make the best of it, and see what I can do with it. I ain't let it bring me down.
Right, right. And you're a humble kid. I've been around you all your life, and you take what's given to you, and you take advantage of that. But just thinking about it, what are some of the weaknesses in your game that you think that you need to work on to further evolve at being a big time receiver?
I feel like one of my weaknesses is the way I take care of my body, the food I eat. I got a high metabolism, so it's really hard for me to gain weight. So I'm starting a meal plan with proteins, with foods with high proteins and high calories that I like. So we'll see if that can help me gain my weight. But I feel like that's really my only weakness, gaining weight and getting stronger.
Right, right. And that's something that a lot of guys that have height and have high metabolism, it's hard for you guys to gain weight. And I'm one of those guys, so I know how hard it is for that to happen. But you look at it, Mansfield, before we go to intermission, although you have that weakness or you feel like you need to put on more weight, give us some of the strengths of Jordan Mansfield, because you have those big hands, but yet they're so soft. Give us some of the strengths you believe that makes you a great athlete.
Some strengths that make me a great athlete is my speed and my knowledge for the game. I just don't play the game just to play it. I study it. Like, I study the defenses, I study offense, corners, tendencies, like everything.
Right, right. And like you said, you don't got a chance to work with some of the best, to Lance Sawyers, the Ruben Randalls. You've been around some of the great pass catchers and athletes around Bastrop. Before we go to intermission, how have those guys in particular had an effect on your life and your training?
Those guys had a big impact on me when I was younger. Ruben Randall used to host camps every year, and I used to go to those camps every year to learn from a lot of NFL guys. To Lance Sawyer, I done worked with him before. He done showed me a lot, worked out with me. So, yeah, those guys helped me a lot.
Right. And, Jordan, we're going to take an intermission, and when we come back, we're going to get into more of what is the day like with Ashton Jordan Mansfield Sr. on a daily basis, and what keeps him prepared, and what his schedule like that keeps him so focused and determined coming out of UAM. We'll be right back with number 19 UAM, Mr. Jordan Mansfield, when we return after this intermission. Welcome back to Emerge Podcast. This portion of the show is being brought to you by Stepping Stones LLC of Jonesboro, Louisiana, and Think Safe Firearms Training LLC. We're still here with University of Arkansas Monticello wide receiver and Scrap City standout, Mr. Jordan Mansfield. Jordan, before we went to intermission, you was kind of sharing us about the things that goes on in the daily process of Jordan Mansfield, but give us more insight on what it's like in a day in the life of Jordan Mansfield Sr.
Well, a day in the life for me is I wake up around like 10 o'clock. I go eat breakfast, and I go to class right after breakfast. And once I get done with class, I go straight to meetings for football. And then after meetings, we'll work out. Then we go to practice. Then I have dinner. After dinner, I have study hall, catch up on my work. And then after study hall, it's like 9:30, 10. So I just have a little free time, like play the game, chop it up with some teammates. Other than that, I'm getting ready for bed. and then I just do the same thing over and over.
Right. You know, being such an intelligent young man and having to balance studies with athletics, being a true student athlete, and now that you're a father, share with us and rank the top 5 priorities currently in the life of Jordan Mansfield Sr.
My top 5 priorities right now are God, my family, education, football, and money.
Right. And it's strange that you say money, because I remember you saying that your thing was to always make your mom and your dad proud. And people don't know you have ambitions of playing in the NFL, but you also understand the importance of education, you know. So what do you believe are some of the greatest challenges that most athletes are facing today, living a dream, well, thinking of a dream and living a reality?
I feel like the greatest challenge most athletes are facing today is recruiting. Well, high school athletes is recruiting, because I feel like it's really a politics game. And a lot of athletes get lost because of it being that way. And it's not just politics, because grades hold a lot of people back too. I've seen a lot of great athletes from Bastrop get held back because of grades.
Right. And that's something that, you know, a lot of kids don't understand, Jordan, about the transfer portal and different things of transferring and not having the grades and turning down schools that give you offers. A lot of kids don't know that if you turn down this school that may be a 3rd tier, but you're looking at this 2nd tier, they're communicating. So what, with that being said, what do you believe it would take for you, if once it's all over UAM, to get in that portal and come out at a school that you think fits Jordan Mansfield?
I feel like it would take me to definitely gain some weight, and I have to stay on top of my grades. Because if you got the grades and you got the film, there's no way a coach can turn you down.
Right. And no, Jordan, we want to go back and visit back when you was talking about the class of 2020, because a lot of things that's going on now is predicated back to when you guys were in high school. It was so much girth and so much was put on you guys' shoulders. And as parents and fans, we sometimes we didn't understand that you guys just wanted to stay together. How do you feel that affected the community, Jordan, of the class of 2020 when you guys started transferring and the team broke up?
I feel like it affected the community a lot, because once everybody started to transfer and the team started breaking up, the community started breaking up. Like, kids stopped going to school, kids started to fight, people gave up on the team, gave up on the city. And yeah, I feel like it caused a real big negative impact, and it shows to this day.
You know, being that you're a father now, and you look back over the things that have transpired, how do you look at life now and decisions that were made for you and for you guys now that you're a parent now? What would you do different in situations like you guys faced it?
I feel like I think what I would do differently would be just finding a way to see how we could stick together somehow, like anyway, because when we separated, it was like we really didn't try to, stay together. We didn't try to fix nothing. Everybody just up and left. So I feel like what I would have done differently would have been to just try to see what we could do to keep everybody together and united.
Right. And you know, Jordan, it's strange that you say about the uniting, and stand together. Do you guys, the class of 2020, do you talk to your classmates and do you guys reminisce about what could have happened if you guys had a say so in this thing?
Nah, not really, but every once in a while, the conversation will come up. Everybody will be like, if we would have stayed together, man, we could have did this, we could have did that. It comes up every once in a while, but we don't really talk about it that much.
Right, right. You know, and Joe, we're going to take another intermission, but when we come back, we want you to share with us about your responsibilities outside recreation and non-recreation activities. How do you hold it all together and continues to be a great athlete? You're a great father, and you're making your parents proud. How do you keep all that balance? We want to know how Jordan Mansfield keep it balanced when we come back after this intermission. We're still here with University of Arkansas, Monticello, the Bo Weevils, and former Neville Tiger, Bastrop City standout, Jordan Mansfield, when we return after this intermission.
Immerse 360 Podcasts focuses on uplifting rural and urban areas and dire conditions with no solutions by shedding light on pioneers, athletes, and political figures who have made an impression on Northeast Louisiana and surrounding areas. Immerse understands the social and civic needs to love, learn, live, and laugh. So, tap in every Sunday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. on all social networks and platforms. Always remember, Immerse 360.
Welcome back to Immerse Podcast 360. This portion of the show is being brought to you by Chopping Wood 24/8 with Coach K, Kenny Gaines. We're still here being visited by standout of Bastrop City, former Neville Tiger, and current University of Arkansas, Monticello, number 19, Jordan Mansfield. Jordan, we went to intermission. We know that you just getting home from school. You guys had a rough season. Jordan, kind of share with us about your first season at UAM and how did you all hold it together and how did you hold all your responsibilities together, father, checking on little man, checking on junior studies. How have you been able to hold recreation and non-recreation all together?
The way I'm able to hold it all together is really just staying on the schedule and putting priorities first and putting business over pleasure first, because it's hard being a student athlete if you're putting pleasure over your business. You can't go out and party every day and expect to do good in the classroom and do good on the field. So you gotta, pick your time. Sometimes you gotta miss out to study. Sometimes you gotta miss out to go put extra work in.
Right, and that's the sacrifice, Jordan. And we know you've sacrificed a lot being a young man. A lot of people don't know that you graduated high school at 17 years old. And you're just now 19, and people don't understand that you're stepping into an arena where you have so much prominence and height standing in front of you. How do Jordan Mansfield, when it's all said and done, what do you want to be most remembered for on your journey to the NFL?
I want to be most remembered about how I never gave up, man. I want to be motivation to other kids around to never give up and chase your dream.
Right. And, things that, like we said earlier, that are out of our control and things happen. But you being a father now, how has that aided you in your thought process?
It's aided me a lot because everything I do now can reflect on him. And I try to do everything that I do, I try to do it for him and my family.
Right. And Jordan, did that have a effect on you when you knew you were going to have a son? What were some of the thoughts going through your head about your dream of playing one day at the next level?
At first, I was wigging out. I was thinking like, I ain't gonna be able to play football no more. this and that. But my family, I got a good support system. So my parents helped me a lot, and they told me it wasn't the end of the world, basically. And they was like a great support system. My family, they just really helped me a lot and told me to just, don't worry about it. You feel me? Like they'll help me. Like I ain't on my own with this. Because when I first found out, I felt like, the world was gonna end and I was on my own. But I got a lot of help and support, so they helped a lot, and it just made me think like I gotta go harder now since I got somebody depending on me.
Right. And and Jordan, that is so essential what you said about the support system. Being that you played at Bastrop, played at Neville, now you're in college playing. Do you see a lot of guys not having that support system?
Yeah, I see the kids now that play football for Bastrop. They don't really have a support system like we did in 2020 for the class of 2020. And yeah.
Right. And how is the mental aspect now with athletes, Jordan, being that, so much is going on in basketball with suicide and athletes wigging out, like you said? How is the mental state, bro, in the average college locker room nowadays that you talk to other guys from other schools?
It's tough. A lot of guys be far away from home. They get homesick. The school hard, the work be hard. It's tiring for real, but it's not impossible. It's real tiring, but it's not impossible at all.
And if y'all worried about that background noise, Jordan really just getting home from school and he unpacking, and he took our time from driving on that highway to stop through, and we so grateful, and that's why we was honored to give him the Emerge 360 Freshman of the Year 2022 for the things he has accomplished. He has a beautiful story. It's way more to it. We're going to come back once he finished this journey and give it to you all. But Jordan Mansfield is one of those kids that was overlooked. No one really thought he had the athletic ability to do it, but he was one of those smarter kids, and he's one of those humble kids. And at the end of the day, the Most High has kept his hand on him out of the class of 2020. Mansfield, before we let you go and get out of here, bro, share with us some of the hobbies and things that Jordan Mansfield likes to do outside of training and sports.
Outside of sports, I like to play video games, chill with friends. I like to go out a lot sometimes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's all I do.
Right. So it's all business with you. It's all, hey, do my thing at UAM, put my name in that portal and see what happens and take this journey to the next level. Because we see you all business and no play. But Mansfield, we always ask all our guests, and we just had Jalen Kennedy on, and you guys are some of the more intelligent student athletes of this era. Knowing what goes on now in Bastrop, from your young perspective, these are your peers. What do you want to tell them, and what do you think is going to take for the city to come back and be unified, as you spoke of?
For the city to come back and be unified, it starts with us first. As us, I mean, like the youth. Because the youth right now in Bastrop is going against each other right now. And if we going against each other, the youth going against each other, we can't expect the community to support us if we not trying to help ourselves.
Right. So with that being said, what do you think is going to take for us as a whole, as a community, to get it back to where it was, like you saying, when you was coming up and everybody was so hyped and humble and supportive? What do you think it's going to take for it to get back to that, Mansfield?
I think it's going to take, I think it'll take, I don't know, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot. I really don't know.
But just knowing that one thing we do know for sure, if the support system is not there, that's the most key thing in support, whether you win or lose. And we know that's been your biggest thing. And people can say what they want, but we know your mom is your biggest fan. We know your dad, he works hard. Your brothers are always there. And like you said, you have that support system where, you know, when I was training you, we've been working at this thing for a minute. And I always told you, Jordan, it's in you, bro. No matter what nobody say or where we go from here, you stay focused on the prize. And I just want to tell you, look, cuz I'm proud of you. And I want you to know we working something out with your mom, and we're going to try to get you a UIL deal with eMerge 360. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I like that. I like the sound of it. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're going to try to sign you. You're going to be the first athlete we sign with eMerge 360, bro. And like I said, Jordan, we're rooting for you, man. You always going to be a basketball ram. You always Scrop City for life. And we know they love you at Neville too, bro, but you always belong to us. Is it any last word from number 19? I'm going to call you Megatron. If you know who Megatron is, you got them hands in that height like Megatron. This is the future Megatron, y'all. Is it any last things from number 19, Jordan Mansfield?
I just want to say I appreciate everybody who came and listened tonight, and stay blessed.
All the time. Hey, Jordan, bro, we wish you the best on all your endeavors, man, and we going to work something out. Like I said, we in your corner rooting for you, bro, and the skies is the limit. Keep your eyes on the prize, and tell little AJ, bro, he need to stay out in front of that camera so much. Hey, I'm your host, Maserati. We want to thank Jordan Mansfield stopping through and dropping those jewels and gems. eMerge 360, Freshman of the Year, Mr. Ashton Jordan Mansfield Sr. This has been brought to you by Involved Social and Civic Club, where we understand the social and civic needs of love, learn, live, and laugh. Until next time, y'all stay encouraged. Y'all get involved. And most of all, y'all stay immersed.
I need that one-on-one. When you only get one call, here I come. And you can count on me. I need that one-on-one. When you're back against the wall, here I come. This is a message to my son. I need that one-on-one. When you only get one call, here I come. And you can count on me. Drop City hustler, that's where I'm from. Where you never leave a pad without packing your gun. The pressure that I feel weigh a metric ton. Cause back in that trap is my oldest son. I need a one-on-one. Don't guess, don't wonder, just come. I need that one-on-one. When hanging with them soldiers ain't fun. But first things first, I got to shake him loose. But you gotta keep in mind that he was raised in that boot. But you gotta keep in mind that I was raised in that boot. So it's like who you talking to, who you talking to. But the wrong state of mind can make an ugly situation. He checked me 7 his life as a selfish form of hate.